Hello, my friends. I hope you're doing excellent. I am here on what I am now calling Sacred Design Fridays. So, all of my trainings are going to be here every Friday. So, make sure that you share that with your friends and that you get into the rhythm of knowing that every Friday I'll do a training here instead of Tuesdays like I was doing before. I just felt like Fridays was a much better day for me to do this, and I'm really excited to just keep building on these trainings and these series of sacred design tips for you to apply and to shift the energy of your home as you watch them and to just turn into the most practical but also really get into the depth of what sacred design is. So today's video is one that I've been sitting on for a while, and finally it came through, and I'm sharing with you about why designing your home into a sacred space is essential if you are struggling with mental health challenges and emotional health challenges. So if you're new to my group, welcome. My name is Paula Agudelo. I am a sacred interior designer and coach, and I help high achieving women design their homes into sacred spaces that reflect who they really are. So, today we're talking about depression and anxiety, and I have all of my notes here because I wrote down some really important tips that I want to share with you today so that your home can support you if you are struggling with that. So, depression, anxiety, and PTSD, and generally high levels of stress are higher now than they have ever been before. There's so many reasons for that, and women, unfortunately, are a lot more susceptible to suffering from these challenges. They affect our health, they affect our careers, they affect our relationships with our lovers, with our children, with ourselves. And there's so many reasons why we are struggling so much with that. And I think it's really important to become sensitive to this, to become aware of the reality of this, and also to just be more open, more vulnerable, and more receptive about these conversations because there's so many of us suffering with these issues under the radar, and we have learned to be ashamed about it. We have learned to be stigmatized by it. And the truth is, the more we share, the more open we are about it, the more we heal ourselves, and the more we support each other. Um, that also really gives us like the energy to ask for help and to, the more taboo there is around it, the more shame we feel around asking for help. So the more open we are, the more willing we are to also look for help and for support, and that is vital in moving through those waves and moving through those states of mind that just hold us back and just ruin the way that we live. And that's not the point, right? So as women, we have so much power, we have so much intuition, and we also have so much responsibility, not just in the day to day, but also as a collective. We are being called to be the leaders of this age. And to do that, we need to be in harmony with ourselves. We need to be in peace with ourselves. And so when we support each other and we heal ourselves, we're also healing collectively. We're also healing each other. So it really has become my vision and deep intention to connect more with women. Interestingly enough, all of my clients are women, but I also just on a more vulnerable level as a person want to connect deeper with my female friends. And that's such a beautiful space to heal and such a beautiful space to amplify that energy of empowerment that has been stagnant for a long time amongst female relationships and friendships and all of that. And so I really, really want to be super honest with you and super supportive. And if this stuff is resonating with you, and if you too have struggled with anxiety, depression, and PTSD, like I have, by the way, I've been struggling with that my entire life. I have witnessed my mother struggle with some of those things my entire life. And I have not until very recently, in the last few years, really become in charge of coping with these challenges in a much more healthy and sacred way. And so I really feel called to share that and to help. And so if this is resonating with you, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, please send me a message. Let me know that this resonates with you. Drop a heart emoji and just show your support. Show your support to yourself, show your support to me, and show your support to all of the other women, because we must support each other. So if you find yourself struggling with depression, anxiety, and PTSD, obviously make sure you seek for the right help if you need it. I am not a therapist. I am not qualified to diagnose or treat or do any of that, nor am I claiming that by designing your house into a sacred space, you're going to be overnight healed. That's not the case at all. So if you need professional medical help, obviously make sure that you do that for yourself. But I have found that my sweet spot to feel amazing, to feel in harmony with myself, to feel really like myself and not allow these conditions to take over my life, is by really creating a well-rounded healing strategy for me. And one way that I've done that is through creating sacred space. For years and years and years, I've been doing that intuitively and not even knowing that I was creating a healing space for myself. But also, as I've personally struggled with all those issues for a long time, I've found multiple spiritual and yogic tools that have helped me, seeking mentorship, not just from a therapist, but also from coaches and people who are there to hold me accountable and sort of catapult me into moving forward, as opposed to stepping into the past all the time. That's needed too. I believe in a good combination of those Western Eastern modalities for sure. A combination of all of that with the right diet and a daily structure and a daily ritual where I am becoming a non-negotiable, where my health and my well-being is non-negotiable. So those are the things that have worked for me. In the context of creating sacred space, though, and to be able to cope with these challenges and move from where you have been, where you are, towards where you want to go, the first thing that I want to ask you is to have you ask yourself, right? Ask yourself, how is the time that you are spending in your home helping you, supporting you, or hindering your recovery? Okay, this is really important because you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be willing, like my dear friend who just released her book says, you have to be willing to admit when things are fucked up. Okay, and so how is the time you spend at home helping you, supporting you, or hindering your recovering and managing your mental health challenges? The truth is that our environments can either diminish or enhance our relationships, our health, our mental health, and our wealth. So many areas of our life are deeply affected by our physical spaces and by our environments. Our stress levels increase, our anxiety increases when our physical spaces aren't addressed. I found, again, in my own experience and over the years in coaching other people, that addressing our home design can be very effective in keeping these disorders from controlling our lives and really the lives of those we love too. And so once you become aware of the state of your home and create a really honest picture of what is in front of you, then you can take action. Then you can shift the design of your home and the energy of your home towards a much more supportive environment. And you also gain more energy to dive deeper into the transformative and healing journey of reclaiming yourself and bringing yourself back home to you. That is the ultimate sacred space, is you, yourself, your being, your essence. And so taking action in this physical way really creates momentum so that you can start feeling good, so that you can shift the way that you think, the way that you feel, and the way that you act. So I'm going to share with you some simple tips, 4 tips today, so that you can shift the energy of your space to support you with your mental health challenges right now. You can do this today and experience a difference. And like I said, I cannot speak enough about what this journey of creating sacred space has done for myself and for my clients. And so here's the first tip. I'm going to look at my notes here so that I don't forget. Number 1 is bring in more natural light. So there's so many studies on vitamin D and how it increases your serotonin levels, how increased exposure to sunlight really lowers your anxiety, and it's a natural antidepressant. So you can do this in your home by opening your windows. Ta-da! You can open your windows, you can open your drapes, open your blinds, and really allow the sun to come through and to shine through. You can also have sheer drapes in your space to allow light in and still keep some privacy. And just get as much light into your space. Most people have wrongly lit homes. Most people don't have enough light in their homes. I don't know if I said that right, but most people don't have enough light, and most people most definitely don't have enough natural light. So if you don't have as much natural light because the architecture of your home just is not, available for that, then you can use multiple layers of lighting. I always talk about at least 3 layers of lighting, up to 7 layers of lighting. Also, what does that mean? That means you're going to use table lamps, floor lamps, chandeliers, recessed lighting, all kinds of different lighting. Have at least 3 layers of it in that room. And a really, really, really important point with those lighting choices is to make sure that you use light bulbs that have a natural warm light color to them, as opposed to the more modern, cooler, bluish tint light bulbs. Those actually have proven to increase anxiety and increase depression. So make sure that your bulbs are the right bulbs to help you feel better. Warm light that mimics natural light is better. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is bring nature inside. Using houseplants is also an amazing way to improve your concentration, improve that energy of feeling good. There's also a lot of studies in plants and how they improve people's moods and how they also improve the quality of the air in your home. There's so many chemicals in our homes, our furniture, our mattresses, they're off-gassing for years and years and years, and plants really, really help to create a less toxic environment, to purify the quality of the air in your home. And so that's really, really important to improve the quality of your breath, which also, as a yogi, is a huge part of my life. It's tuning into how I'm breathing. When you are breathing deeply and completely, you're elevated, you are clear, you are focused. When you are breathing shallowly and without a rhythm and without awareness, your anxiety is just up there. So super, super important way to address that. If you don't think you have a green thumb, I actually have some great videos. I have a series of 3 videos in YouTube, in my YouTube channel, where you can learn more about decorating with plants and taking care of plants. My boyfriend has a horticulture degree, and he and I came up with these video series, I think a couple of years ago, where we talk about how you can treat plants, how you can grow them, how you can keep them inside. So make sure you check that out. Give them a chance. Don't think that you don't have a green thumb. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm proud to say that I no longer have fake plants in my home, except maybe 1 or 2 in my office because I don't get a lot of sun there. But I have all natural plants, and it makes so much difference in how I feel. So the other tip, number 3, is to remove clutter. If you've been following me for a while, you know I sound like a broken record when it comes to clutter. I am huge on removing clutter because visual clutter leads to mental clutter. And when you have mental clutter, you can't think. You can't shift how you feel. And so it is really hard to sort through your thoughts, sort through your feelings, and sort through your emotions when you're dealing with physical clutter. So commit to your well-being first. Commit to having the energy of letting go of what does not serve you. When you're going through your stuff, consider why you have it. Be honest. Just be honest. Does it bring you joy, like Marie Kondo says? Does it spark joy? Does it make you feel good to have that? If somebody gave it to you and it makes you feel like shit, who cares who gave it to you? Let it fucking go. You don't need it. um it doesn't serve a purpose if you don't love it. And if it does serve a purpose and you use it, then great, keep it. But you won't even miss it when it's gone if that's not the case. So have the conviction to create space in your heart. Spaciousness is key to having clarity, right? And so also have the commitment and the conviction to create space in your heart for new opportunities, for new things to show up in your life. When we're so attached to these physical things from the past, then we're not allowing space to be there for new things to show up and new experiences to show up in our life. It's often a very melancholic and sentimental process to let go of things. And so if that's the case and you're struggling with that and that sentimental sort of baggage and grief to let go of stuff and go through stuff, then seek for help. Ask for a friend to help you. Be willing to say, hey, I'm going through all my stuff and I'm really wanting to shift how I'm feeling, and I'm feeling down and depressed, but I'm committed to shifting that. Can you come help me? Can you drive these bags to the Goodwill? Can you throw this stuff away for me? Like, ask for help. It's okay. It's okay. Trust me, I know it's hard sometimes to ask for help, but it is key in moving forward. The other option is to hire a professional organizer. Hire somebody to come and do it for you. It makes it easier to keep up with it when you don't have to do it yourself. Whatever it is, have a support system that holds you accountable for what it is that you want to create and make it happen. Quieting your space is key in quieting your mind. And then the fourth tip, which is my favorite, but all of the others are also super important, is to create a sacred space, a sacred corner. That sounds more doable, doesn't it? Create a sacred corner where you engage your senses with color, with textures, with smells, and even taste. Color is super important. That's probably a whole nother series or video. But the psychology behind color is huge, how it affects your mood. Color is basically there to help you feel specific emotions. And so make sure that you do some research around the psychology of color in regards to the wall color you have, maybe, and the furniture that you have. Of course, if you need help with that, you feel free to reach out to me and DM me, and I can help you figure out what emotion the colors that you have are evoking in your space. But in that sacred corner, engage your senses through color, texture, smell, and taste. Think of flowers, crystals. Aromatherapy is huge in helping holistically to heal yourself and shift your energy. Even flower essences that you can put in your water. I love to keep my little altar with my flower essences for specific purposes. And you can just drop a few drops of those essences into your water and allow that space to nurture you. Sometimes I even have cacao, like yummy rose Ayurvedic chocolate in my altar, so that when I sit, right, the whole point of doing this is for you to create a little space, a corner in your room. Forget about designing your whole house. That's not what we're doing here. We're creating a small corner where you can commit to showing up every single day. And that can be the space where you pray, where you meditate, where you stretch, or even where you cry your eyes out. Okay? Have a sacred space where you can honor yourself and you can fall apart. Allow yourself to have the time and the space to really feel what you are feeling and come back to yourself. So, like I said, sometimes I even have a little chocolate, like a good kind, not the cheap kind that's going to make you feel even worse later. But like, I love this brand of Ayurvedic rose cacao, and I'll sit there and I'll have a piece, I'll have my flower essences, I'll turn on my diffuser, and sometimes it's only a matter of 3, 5 minutes, 11 minutes where I get to honor myself, fall apart. I call that my space to fall apart. And after that's done and I've set some time for that, then I can get up and move on with my life. But I'm not ignoring where I'm feeling, what I'm feeling. I'm not ignoring and avoiding it and having this sort of like apathetic and avoidance around the reality of my moment. I'm actually allowing myself to feel. And that is the beauty of those sacred corners, to allow yourself to feel. And so inside of my newly remodeled signature program, we go so deep into all of this. We go deep into, why designing your home into a sacred space can change the way you think and feel, how it can support your emotional and your mental health needs, and how you can transform your physical spaces around you to bring harmony into different areas of your life: relationship with yourself, with your children, with your lover, with your intimacy, with your career, with your money, and with your sense of purpose. So if this is something that you're interested in, go ahead and check out the link on the comments below where you can book a free sacred design session with me, and we'll get on a call and we can chat about where you've been, where you are, and more importantly, where you want to go with the sacred design of your home and of your life. So if you found this helpful, share it with a friend, tag a friend, invite them into this group. I am going to again be here every Friday for Sacred Design Fridays, and we'll go into all of these amazing topics that I'm sharing with you, and I hope that they are helpful, and I hope that you can find them easy to apply. And if you do go ahead and create that sacred corner for yourself today, share it with us. Share a picture of it in our group. There's no judgment. We're not expecting any Pinterest perfect spaces here. That is not what I'm all about whatsoever. I am about creating sacred spaces that help you, a high achieving woman, really express yourself and really tune into your essence and who you really are. So share that with us, and I will see you guys next Friday. Satnam.